All right, second grade, we are going to be starting on lesson 7, halves, thirds, and fourths. And I need you to turn to page 778. We're not going to look at this page today because you guys don't actually have the blocks to cover up each shape. So I want you just to go to page 778. Okay, so sorry, give me 1 second. All right, you can partition or separate shapes into equal parts. Partition is a big word, but all it means is that you're separating shapes into equal parts. And when we mean equal, it means that each part is the same size. Okay, so if you look at this first one, it says two equal parts or two halves. Each part is half of the whole. So they took that circle and they split it in half, and they are equal halves. They have to be the same size on each side. And then they took the square and they broke it in half. It's two equal pieces. And if you break it in half, we call that 1/2. And we write that 1 line 2 or 1/2. Next, they have three equal parts of 3/3. Each part is a third of the whole. So notice that they broke the circle up into three equal parts, and then they broke the square up into three equal parts. We write that 1 line 3 or 1/3 if it's 1/3 of it. The next one, they did four equal parts or 4/4. Each part is a fourth of the whole. They broke the circle up into four equal parts and they broke the square up into four equal parts. Now, when it is a whole, so that means when the whole thing is there, we can write it a couple ways. Okay, so this first one, you can write it 1. We can write it 1, or you can write it 1, or I'm sorry, 2/2. Means the same thing. 1 equals 2 halves. Or for thirds, it's 1 whole, or it's equal to 3/3. And for fourths, you can write it's 1. I'm going to try to use this. I don't know why it's so touchy for me. Let's try to use this. Or it's 1, or it's equal to 4/4. Okay. And this was 3. It's better when I do that. All right. So on 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, we are going to, I'm sorry, on 1 through 4, we're going to describe equal parts, right? 2 halves, 3/3, or 4/4. So number 1, it broke up into 2. So we would call that 2 halves, and we would write that 2 halves. Okay, number 2 is broke up into 4. So we would write 4/4. Number 3 is broke up into 3 equal parts. So we would write 3/3. And number 4 is broke up into 3 equal parts. So we again would write 3/3. Now, our next two problems say that we need to draw lines to partition each shape. That means separate each shape or divide each shape. Number 5 wants us to divide or partition our shape into two equal parts. You could do it a bunch of different ways. So you can choose which way you want to do, but I'm just going to draw one straight line down to partition it into two equal parts. Number 6 wants us to partition or divide it into four equal parts. Again, you could do it a few different ways. I'm going to draw a plus sign to divide my shape into four equal parts. Talk math. Explain how you can divide a pie so that four people each get an equal part. So a pie is a circle. I think the best way to divide the pie so they get four equal parts is to again draw a plus sign, divide it in half, and then divide it in fours. If you're done, you can go on to page 779. Not, and you need to pause this video, you can do that as well. I'm going to go on to the next page. Oh, sorry, guys, I didn't realize it was changing on me. I was trying to wait for it to give it a minute. Try again. There we go. All right. Go ahead and erase this out. Okay. Describe the equal parts. I'm going to make this bigger for myself. Hopefully, it'll let me. Okay. So, write 2/2, 3/3, or 4/4. So, number 7 is three equal parts. So, I'm going to write 3/3. Number 8 is in half. So, we have 2 halves. Number 9 and 10, they want us to partition each shape. Okay, so we need to do our square in four equal parts. I'm going to go ahead and do my T again. Number 10 wants us to partition it into two equal parts. I'm just going to draw a straight line down to make it in half. Number 11 wants us to partition it into three equal parts. I'm going to draw two lines down to get three equal parts. Be careful when you draw your lines down. Three equal parts does not mean three lines, okay? You have to make sure you have three parts, not three lines. Because if you did three lines, you would have four equal parts. So be careful when you do that. Number 12 has two equal parts. This time I'm going to draw my line going across to make two equal parts. Now, number 13, 14, 15, and 16, they want you to partition the shape in a different way. So show the same number of equal parts. So number 13 is partitioned in half, but I have to show a different way that I can do that. So instead of drawing my line horizontally, I'm going to draw my line vertically, which is up and down. Number 14, they have a vertical line to divide it in half. I'm going to draw my line horizontally going across. Number 15, they have it divided in a plus sign. So you could do a couple things. You could draw an X, or you could draw 3 lines going across. 1, 2, 3. Obviously, that's very hard for me with my pen, but you get the picture that there are 4 equal parts if I draw 3 lines going across. And number 16, they have 2 horizontal lines going, I'm sorry, 2 vertical lines going down. And so I need to break up my other rectangle into 3 equal parts. So instead of going vertically, I'm going to go horizontally with my lines. When you're done with this page, you can go on to page 780. I'm racing out my work, and we're going to get started with number 17. So number 17 says, Eva's mom bought a pizza. Eva ate 1 equal part. Her friend ate 1 equal part. There was 1 equal part left for Eva's mom. How much of the pizza was left for Eva's mom? So I like to draw pictures. So if we draw a picture, we draw a circle because that's the shape of a pizza. And we know that Eva ate 1 piece, her friend had another piece, and her mom had another piece. Oh, that's 3 people. That means that we need to break it up into 3 equal parts. So, how much of the pizza was left for Eva or Eva's mom? So, Eva ate her piece, friend ate her piece. How much is left for her mom? We would say 1/3 of the pizza. This is how much is left for the mom, and that's 1/3. So we would write that 1/3. And we say 1/3 of the pizza is left for her mom. They ate 2/3 of the pizza. The top number, call that a numerator of a fraction, is what's left. So that's mom. The bottom number is the denominator, and that's how many the pizza has altogether. So that's 3. Look at number 18. Gracie had a round slice of watermelon. She and her sister shared the slice equally. How much did each girl get? So let's just take a slice of watermelon that normally looks like a triangle, I would say. And it says they shared it equally. So that means there are 2 girls and they share it equally. So that means there are 2 halves to that watermelon. But they want to know how much each girl had. So each girl had 1/2. And we say 1/2 of the pizza. 1/2. 2 is how many? The denominator. That's how many there are total. And 1 is how much they each have. That's the numerator. Sadie is making a picture for her cousin. She folds a piece of paper in half. Then she folds it again. She opens the paper. How many equal parts are there? So if I take a piece of paper and I fold it in half, I have 2 halves. Now, if I fold it again, I have 4/4. So how many equal parts are there if you fold the paper in half and then you fold it again? There are 4 equal parts. Number 20. Show the same number of equal parts in 2 different ways. So they drew our square there and they divided it into 4 equal parts. And we need to divide it in 2 different ways. Okay, I'm going to do my plus sign. And then I'm going to go horizontally across with 3 lines. And you can explain that by saying I used a plus sign. I used 3, sorry about my handwriting, horizontal lines. When you are done with your work today, you can go back to your seesaw activities and finish up your few activities that you have left and complete your homework and check it with the pages on there. As always, if you have any questions, please send me a message and I can answer or help in any way that you may need. Have a good day.